This is NBC6 South Florida Today.
We've all done internet searches at one time or another, and sometimes it can be frustrating trying to find what you're looking for. Other times, it pops right up. Well, believe it or not, the order of internet search results is not random. And joining me now is Andrew Wetzler with something called More Visibility. Welcome, Andrew.
Thanks for having me.
I got to tell you that in reading about your company, I learned that I didn't know anything about this at all.
Okay.
I mean, someone who uses the internet all the time, like me and millions of other people, we look for things and we become accustomed to getting what we want.
Sure.
When we want, we don't really know how we get it. It just appears.
Okay.
Well, you're one of the reasons why we get what we want. So if you could just explain a primer, if you will,
okay,
on exactly what your company does.
More Visibility is a company that we started 7 years ago, and our niche very specifically is to work with businesses that have websites, from very, very small companies, maybe a local law firm, up to a major university, who would be looking to figure out where they are in the search engines today, understand which keywords people are actually searching for that they would ultimately like to show up for, and then help them create a strategy and execute a game plan in order to make sure that when someone does that kind of a search, that they actually are there.
Okay, example. I had talked to you earlier about giving us an idea of something that would ring with viewers watching at home, and you said you named a couple. The
Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City would be one.
And you said that if I had put in a search on Google or wherever for what, Egyptian vase,
something like that, sure,
your client's website's going to pop up. And that there could be many words I could put in.
Correct.
How does that work?
Okay, excellent question. The way that it works is that there are essentially two dimensions to a search result, and this is where it sort of flies under the radar screen of most people today that are still looking on the web and doing a search on a search engine. You do a search for whatever the topic may be. Maybe it's Naples real estate, and you'll see at the top a couple listings that are shaded, typically in blue, and a couple others down the right-hand side of the page that are also shaded. Mm-hmm. Those are actually sponsored listings, so that if an organization wants to make sure that no matter what, they are going to show up in the search result, you would take advantage of those opportunities by bidding for that position.
Okay, now I'm understanding a little more. I love old cars, and lots of times I'll put in a search for, let's just, for argument's sake, say 1950 Pontiac.
Okay.
And always, at the top, there's something for a 2006 Pontiac.
Okay.
Is that what we're talking about?
That's exactly what we're talking about. Okay. Because GM at that point recognizes that there's a high value, right, and they're buying probably any word that would have Pontiac in the search result, even though it may not fit what they actually have on the showroom floor today.
Gotcha. Now, how is what you do important to people like me who use the web every day to search for anything and everything?
The way that what More Visibility does benefits the searcher is that we, I think, are instrumental in helping make sure that what shows up in the results is relevant to what the person's looking for. The algorithms of the engines have become increasingly sophisticated. And what that actually means is that the greater the relevancy between the content on a website and the keywords that you're searching for, the higher the likelihood that that website will show up prominently within the search results.
But, I mean, how much of this is for you and for you? How big is how many employees do you have?
We have 31 employees.
Okay. How much of choosing potential words is a crapshoot? I mean, somebody's got to be using like an educated guess as to what words people are going to put in, right?
I would say that 3, 5, 6 years ago, it was more of an educated guess. Today, there is extremely direct data that we access from the search engines themselves in terms of who's searching for what. Mm-hmm. So we can tell you how many people last month searched the phrase South Florida vacation in Google, Yahoo, MSN, etc., and come up with what is called within the industry a long tail of alternative or secondary keywords that people are searching for that also are gaining traffic.
Okay, now I don't want to let you go without asking this question. As far as the small business person is concerned,
sure,
those people who are also watching, who might not have been aware of this, is this a good form of new style advertising for the small business person?
Interesting that you asked the question. One of the major innovations within search over the last couple of years has been the advent of what's called local search. So that if you have a business in Fort Lauderdale and your target audience is only people within a certain radius of your office, your retail showroom, whatever the case might be, you can target within the Googles of the world to only have your ad show up within a specific radius to your office. So that has been the most significant thing that's occurred over the last couple of years in terms of being able to make the small business make search affordable for the small business.
Andrew Wetzler, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
Name of the company, More Visibility. For more information about More Visibility, log on to our website at NBC6.net. Once you're there, click on South Florida Today, and we'll connect you.